Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the final match of the first week of Season 37, and this one should be a tough one. We won last round to build up that buffer here in Kyber 2, which should allow us to have a good chance at remaining in this tier for the remainder of the season. That's what we're shooting for. Next week might be harder, but we at least have a good placement moving forward. But first, a quick recap. Last round, my opponent was John Davis, who I think had the second best roster of the bracket. First best was Super Bowl here, the first round opponent. We were able to get through both of them. And in both instances, my defense did a ton of work. Super Bowl didn't full clear me. John Davis does full clear, but you can see that my defense did a lot of work with two attempts on Qui-Gon, 2 on Malgus, 1 attempt over here from Grievous. And on the back wall, we get a lot of help from a hold on Maul and a surprising 3 attempts from Padme. Fleet, though, where I usually do get holds, John Davis was able to clear in a single attempt. We're not going to zoom into that. I used a good amount of solos. His defense was a little weaker. He went pretty heavy on offense. Pretty interesting match, though, because he had a Bastila team that the Grand Inquisitors did not do very good at least the combination of Inquisitors that I used for that particular match. And then his Iden squad, I misplayed by disrespecting it. He had Dark Trooper there, which limits the full kit functionality of Iden, but then I messed up by taking out Dark Trooper and then allowing Iden to have that full functionality for the remainder of the attempts it took to clear it. Today, though, we get the matchup that I was hoping for from the start of this round, up against SK here, who is a fellow crazy person. With the bracket look, slightly larger GP, 100k or so. Zeta's small advantage, but that's fairly meaningless at this level. Omicrons, I have an advantage of 1. We'll see where that comes into play. We're probably going to be fairly similar with the Amis, but here's why I wanted this matchup. SK is a fellow low GL player. Both of us have 3 GLs, and we were the 2 players with the lowest amount of GLs in this bracket. So we're going to see similar play styles in this one. Similar approaches, going for characters like Dr. Aphra, who you can see from the image that those types of lower investment characters have huge payouts and really beef up your roster with a far smaller investment than those additional GLs, which is why I go after them so quickly. Relic units, he's got an advantage of 22 and an advantage on the Gear 12 units, but I've got the advantage on the Gear 11 Plus. But at this level, the additional depth, a lot of these squads are not going to be utilized. So above, I don't know where I'd count the threshold these days, but 180-ish, it stops having a huge effect. But some of these lower numbers that you'll see from time to time, 150 or lower, that's when you have a shallower roster that can't really afford to mess up. Relic distribution, we'll look at this a little bit more in detail with a hotbot view, but we are looking at a fairly even distribution where we don't need, it's not too top heavy, but there are some additional depth up there. And there's those motorcycles again that I bring up from time to time. They do love the stretch of road out here. Now, mod-wise, here's where I have probably my best advantage of this match. I have lower 6-dot mods on the pure counts, but the quality is going to be much higher here. With the top 25, I had the second best mods overall, but he has the slowest of the top 25 mods of only an average of plus 23.7, and that's even worse when you look at the counts with only 6 mods at 25 plus or speed better. I'm nearly 4 times as many 25 plus mods. Now the 20 plus, I'm at nearly double, 15 plus a little bit better at about 90 or so. With the top 500 counts, I have the best in the bracket at an average of plus 16.7, and SK is third from the slowest at only plus 14.8. That is going to give me a nice little bonus. Datacrons, though, and this is part of what you see with players like us who are shallower on the GLs, we make up for it in other places, and we both have taken datacrons pretty seriously, despite how at least I feel about them, because I'm a little mixed. I'm warming up to them a little bit, but it's something that you look for the advantages where you can find them, and datacrons is a place where you can build up an advantage. But you see, SK doesn't have any level 9 datacrons, which means one of those benefits I have is I have the Dr. Aphra datacron and he doesn't, despite the two of us both having Dr. Aphra. Now GL wise, we have a different mix, which is a little interesting. I've got Jabba, he's got Lord Vader, he doesn't have JMK, we both have JML, and he's got Sith Eternal Emperor. That's an interesting combination. That's one of the rarer ones that I think I've seen. Usually JML and JMK are some of the standbys, partly because Lord Vader was such a pain to get. He probably went JML, Sith Eternal Emperor, and then Lord Vader got announced, and he went for that project instead of going for JMK. It is sensible. Now, with these characters and the Omicrons, this is some of the places where we see some differences. I've got a Relic 7 Malgus, his is at Relic 5, but we're both 2 Ami players. He's got the Ami on Raddus. That's one of the places where we have a difference. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, which is why I haven't placed it. Iden, he has at Relics. He has a Relic 8 Starkiller, which is a project that I will be working on, but both of us only a single Ami. He's got the Dash Ami, and I don't. That one I feel similar to the Raddus one. They're fine Amis. I don't think they make enough of a difference. I don't think they determine wins and losses all that much. Wampa, though, only Relic 4. That is way too shallow for a Wampa. Wampa really should be higher relics, at least Relic 5. Some of the counters, especially up against like a Sith Eternal Emperor, you can't be bringing in a Relic 4. Savage, both of us have at Relic 5 with the Ami. Traya, he's got at Relics and I don't. And here's the shocker of shockers. His Dr. Aphra doesn't have the Ami. That is a bit of a surprise. Now, at least the leadership should be on there. I can't really make a determination on the other Omicrons until the Datacron expires, because right now the Datacron is doing a lot of work and it's sufficient to beat a lot of different things. Without it, maybe that's what I'll do in the next couple weeks, is I'll take the Datacron off in Squad Arena and see how I feel about Dr. Aphra. Now, Qui-Gon here, we both have, he does not have Swolo. That's also not, I'm a little curious what Omicrons I have that he doesn't. I actually think we're going to take a look at that. Okay, it's Omicrons like Hondo and Aphra. Those are the ones that I have that he doesn't. And I have TIE Fighter Pilot, which has been a bit of a waste. I was kind of hoping that at Gear 12 I'd get something out of it. It's done nothing for me. The other characters, these are all looking good, but his Echo is very slow. His Cat is slow. We can start seeing here that the quality of his modding is being reflected in a lot of these characters. Yeah, throughout here, like his dash at 262, very interesting. These are characters you're going to want a lot faster, and it might be the reason I get some holds on defense when we get to that point. He's not attacked yet. And looking at fleets, he's got a 7-star Profundity, I've got a 6-star. With the Hotbot, we're just going to key in on some of the serious metrics here. The undersizes are very low, and the clears are somewhat low, but not egregiously low. That's fairly standard for what I see a lot of players that I get matched up against. The undersizes, though, tells me that we've got an opportunity to build out some banners if the defense gives me a little bit of assistance. Might not happen in this case. So the mods, we've looked at the relic distribution. You can see he's got a couple more relic 8s. He's got fewer of the Relic 7s, and we saw some of those being critical Relic 7s, like a Malgus, a Wampa, but he's got more in the Relic 5 and Relic 6 area. The modding, again, is a little weak. We're seeing that in some of these key characters here. Cat really being one of the egregious ones, and Maul being pretty slow. When we look at that in detail to see the counts, the Darth Revan was at 301, so that's what we're going to keep an eye out for. So here's his Darth Revan at 301. He has 12 characters. Both Raddus and CLS are above 300 speed or at 300 speed. Stark's at 298. So this is one of the shallower rosters we've seen in a few matches. There are a number of characters here like Bosk, Piet, his Aphra should be faster. Like a lot of these characters you want and are not that difficult to get fast, when we know Echo as well is somewhere down below. But he does have Grand Inquisitor. That's another character that's really easy to get faster than 300 speed. So that is a place which will make things a little bit easier, which I'm probably going to need when we take a look at his defense, because I kind of love what he did with his defense. So with mine, I have made no changes except I did add a datacron that I had forgotten. But I do want to click on some of these and show you guys what I have placed on these characters, because my opponents attacked first in the first 2 rounds, so we weren't able to click on any of these datacrons. So give a little bit of droid help here, giving a little bit of scoundrel help, some extra stats. Down below, those characters aren't at full relics. Over here, this is the datacron I added. I had forgotten this team, so gaining buffs, they're going to get a little bit of recovery, and they're going to start with retribution. That should help. Just the revive datacron for Malgus, and then Jabba here, some sort of scoundrel datacron, so cooldown reset. And then with fleets, this is fairly stagnant for me. This is just what I like to use. Everybody gives me a hold sometimes. Now, here's what he put down. I think this is just really smart and creative. I really like what he's doing. We got a Maul lead with Savage, which is going to be super annoying. We got Nihilus lead with Traya, which basically means like anything that I do towards Nihilus is going to trigger the Annihilate. So taking out this squad is going to be annoying, which probably means what I want to do is just take JML up against it. A GL is just going to turn the Omicron off. That'll make it a little bit easier to manage. Got Raddus here. We should probably look at some of these datacrons. This is definitely going to come into play. I don't have a Relic K2SO, but a lot of players are going for that one these days. JKL here, and this is what he's doing. This is what I advocate. Just put a datacron on everybody. He was able to, though, get a lot of the new datacron set ready for this week at Grand Arena. I did not do that. I only had 4 or 5 even unlocked or available to me, because the first week of Conquest I spend all of my effort on trying to clear the board as quickly as possible, so I'm not going through and getting additional datacrons. That is something that it looks like he did prioritize, so he probably in the second week is working on clearing those feats. Now in this final datacron here, just some extra stats. Alright. Okay. Alright. I need to learn the names of these abilities. So we do the potency mastery stuff. I need to fix the speed on these characters, because I think I want 000 to go first. I want him to land torture, then BT1 come and use his attacks afterwards, because this is the wrong order. We're basically missing an opportunity to do damage while a character has torture on them. And I think that's a pretty big mistake. But now we apply torture, we get an assist, and I'm using weaker abilities now on the torture. That's definitely something we need to correct. Start beefing up that potency. We'll land an armor shred. Maul's This is kind of what I was worried about. I'm really feeling like had my speeds been in the right place, we'd be in a better position. We have a revive though, and I'm kind of glad Maul's the one who took out BT. We just got to make sure we don't lose prior to using that ability. Yeah, I'm not messing around. We just got to take him out. Could have done the revive, but I just want to use that right now. I was expecting a little bit more turn meter. All right. Not good. Come on. We can at least clean this up with Fennec. Or maybe we can actually win and survive. I don't know. But after a poor start, it's looking better. Definitely need to fix my modding though. We've been saying this in the first two matches, but in the first two matches against Jabba hardly mattered. Definitely matters more in this one, but it looks like we're going to get through it. I love Dr. Aphra. This is why I say go after characters like this. This is a 4 character investment. 5 if you count Dr. Aphra herself, and you're building the squad to use her while you do it. That's way better than adding an extra GL to me. Because what I'm looking for are increasing the quality of your roster as quickly as possible. All right. I think we're going to do gas first, because this doesn't always go well for me. It didn't go well for me last round, but that was going up against a Malgus Malak. This one is much easier. So hopefully this goes well. But I need to add additional relic levels to all these characters. And we're just going to find some. I think there's a tenacity one that I liked, yeah. I don't really think it does much. But it's something. You know what? Let's not do this. I don't feel like these battles have been going as well this week. Maybe it's because it's 3v3, or maybe it's because what I was doing in 5v5 was I was giving him more protection. And I think I would rather have these defensive stats. The bonus is negligible. Okay. Let's get to work. This feels like a real tanky trooper. Not making a ton of progress. What kind of datacron has he got on? We got the tank revive and crit damage and defense. Okay. I think we need to get to aerial advantage to take this guy out. We're barely making any progress on him. Get at least an armor shred. Okay. I think we'll do... yeah. This should give us the opportunity at least. Don't die on me. Awesome. There's a sacrifice. Okay. And the gas lead is negating the datacron, which is a help. Gonna save it. Armor shreds. If the taunt comes off, we'll take out. I'm just gonna say that ability is not gonna do enough to Malgus. All right, there's Marauder. And from here, we're good. Let's just, let's get another turn in quick. Stack the armor shreds. We'll give him a little tickle. There we go. All right. This is going the way I was hoping for. This was the plan. And everything is going according to plan. Now, he could mess me up on the back wall, but I don't expect any GLs or things because he only has 3 GLs. He's got to play like me, which means he can't really put too many of them on defense. He needs a Sith Eternal Emperor, and he needs his JML. Yeah, he's got Sith Eternal JML. So he, up against Malgus and my Jabba, I think he has a harder route than I do. Especially because my modding's better. Alright, we're going to JMK this. I expect his back wall is not... It could be a problem, but I don't think it's going to stop me. And I don't think we need to prepare for it. I think we just need to get through his front wall as efficiently as possible. I think he's going to be fairly efficient, too. Let's do... It hardly matters. Let's just grab some slow one. This is basically a freebie when you use JMK. It's just in my other attempts where I've tried to not use a GL up against this. Sometimes, like I think I've lost a 3v3 match in the past just by not preparing properly for this squad, or I was relying on something to work that didn't, and then I was just stuck. Usually I take out Palpatine first, and now we are seeing why I do that. Because we gotta do it anyway. Conquest has been going great. I've been done with it. I mean, the past couple conquests have been nice and easy. I think they've strike a good balance. I'm done with it. I'm just working on Datacrons now. And late in Conquest, what I do is I'll just take my GL teams or my good teams. I'll throw them against those Datacron nodes, and I'll hit auto. Win or loss, I don't even pay attention. Try to minimize the time on it. Throw the team in, hit auto until the stamina gets low enough where it stops working reliably. And then it's really just Sector 1, Sector 3, Sector 5. Because of the way they stagger the Datacron materials. Unless I'm actively going for a feat. Which at this point I'm not. Okay, Darth Revan. I'm thinking Starkiller, but I gotta consult the data to see how I feel about that. Okay, looking at that data, it's like 75%-ish. With Starkiller, and I think I got to do it regardless because all the other counters aren't really there. So there's some extra stats that aren't a huge deal. We got the revive. The Wampa counter is not going to work because Malak's there. And JML I'm using for Traya. Because at this point with like Nihilus lead, there's not a pool of data to refer to, so I don't even know the best way to approach it, and I don't want to risk it, not in this match. Not against this player. So I think we roll with the mod advantage. and just expect that that's going to allow us to win. I think I want the turn meter. Yeah, this should be good. So we get a bunch of stats. We get turn meter to start. Let's go with this. I'm going to try to avoid Malak. We probably won't have a choice about it at some point, but let's see. How do I want to do this? Is this... Do I want tenacity down or do I want stagger? Let's go for stagger. All right, so we'll do that. Let's do basics. We can't stun them, so there's no point. He staggered me, which I don't like. All right. Leave them alone. No, I should be going after Darth Revan. That was a mistake. That could be a costly mistake. Okay. From here, I think we can just... Let's get the debuff. Maybe let's throw a stagger. Don't kill me. Okay. Oh, he gets that revive. All right, come on. How many stacks? So I get 25 stacks. All right, this should trigger Unleashed right away. And now we do this. One misplay there probably almost cost me the taunt was off and I didn't go after Darth Revan. Probably would have been a little safer. But this is all going according to plan now, and we still have JML for Traya. Now Sana. It's my first time playing Sana. I've used her plenty of times. Let me remind myself of this kit. Little extra stats. There's gonna be AoEs and stuff. You know what this feels like to me? This feels like Malak. The question is it a Malak solo? I mean, let's just not risk it. But it feels like a good team to use Malak, because fear will mess up a lot of things. I like the additional relics that he has. You can see, like, he doesn't have that many more or even any more relics than GL heavy players, but he has a lot of relics that other players don't, and one of those would be that Stormtrooper Han one. Alright. What was I doing? Sith. There probably going to be too much healing for Savage on Savage alone. It's just, do I think this is a Malak solo? Like, I almost feel like it is. Maybe, even if it's not a Malak solo, I kind of want to do... We do Talon and Malak. But it's not like we need that, because we can have a Datacron for a revive regardless. Yeah. I just don't know if this is reckless or not. See, the other players use like troopers in Bad Batch. Wampa can do it. Maybe we should just do Wampa. But this really feels like something that Malak should be able to handle. And we're being redundant here with Talon and the Datacron with the revive. But we will get additional stats for Malak. And I just don't want to include Savage. Savage just feels like overkill. Let's check out the Datacron that's on here. So they're going to be recovering health and protection on top of all that. What if we do this? This feels like overkill. Let's go with it. No leadership, but we got some good stuff, and we apparently have. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna hit Sana, but maybe we should have gone after Han. But the fear is already coming into play. That's why I felt confident about this one. Get advantage. Okay. We're going to do this ability because we're going to lose him soon regardless. There he goes. Let's get a Shaak on Han if we can. Perfect. Okay. Oh, Dark Frenzy action. Ooh, feeling a little scared. All right, we're good. Without Sana, I don't think they have a win condition. Rolo will be annoying, but we can drain life on her without too much issue. Definitely don't think I needed Sith Trooper. I just wanted a little bit of cushion because this is brand new to me. We'll check out what's on his back wall, but we're probably going to attack the top to start. I think my son is on defense too. Alright. Looks like there's a Zam. Got Iden, Dash, Zam, Mon Mothma, Nute. Bunch of annoying teams, but nothing we can't handle. We're a little bit of a risk of doing something foolish. But we should be fine. And we should still be able to test out Tuskens up against something. Now, I think the toughest thing that I don't really have an approach for, because here's the plant. Oh, there's Bacilla JML. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that means he only has Sith Eternal Emperor as his GL up against my defense. Now, Bass JML, do I think Inquisitor can deal with it? Because the problem with Inquisitor last time was he was going up against Watt, and that was a timeout issue. I don't know if... No, I think he ramped up enough damage where he could take out things. Now, but we also have Jedi Knight Luke. How am I going to approach this? How am I going to beat Luke? Because if we assume JML loses to Grand Inquisitor, which is a big assumption. I mean, I guess I can throw in anything with JML to beat Traya. So I don't need to have like good Jedi with JML. So I'll have Jedi left over for Luke himself. Like, I can do JKR, JKL, and Hermit Yoda or some other combination, but JKL might be tough for me. I will have Inquisitors left over too, but I think we're gonna be running out of teams, and I kind of really need Grand Inquisitor to win. It's just he didn't win last time, but Watt was there. I'm looking at the data. Grand Inquisitor up against Bastila, JML. GK's not there, but what they do have is Yoda. It's a 22% chance win rate with Hermit Yoda. But that is from the previous 3v3 season, which did not have the Datacron. So that means... do I want to take a low chance that I think some combination of these guys, this would probably be my preferred combination, plus the Datacron. So we get a revive, we get extra potency, and we're immune to fear and stun. We get a little damage immunity if we make progress. I don't know. Feels like a gamble. Okay, I think I've come to a conclusion. It's not worth the risk that it doesn't work. It might work. But if it doesn't, I can't clear JML. I don't have other teams that can do it. Because if we look what I got, like I'd have to resort to my JML, and then I'm not confident that I can take out Nihilus. Like, I really don't know what I can use up against Nihilus right now. Like, Nihilus could be a big pain. Maybe we just take multiple attempts up against Nihilus, but with the relics, like, I really don't want to invite all that. And I think I can pick apart Jedi Knight Luke, even with unideal things. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to sacrifice. This is why I've been being careful with my attacks, and so far everything's worked. We are going to do what we did last time. Is we're just going to throw... let's do the tenacity up. Where's that? Here we go. And this is the squad I wanted to use the tenacity up with. But here, we're just going to go into the sacrifice, take out Bastila. Then I know Grand Inquisitor can win it. And I will be confident we can move through JML. I just don't want to risk Grand Inquisitor, because if it fails, I think we lose. This way, we're playing on my opponent not clearing my defense. He's probably going to do very well, but he only has one GL. My defense isn't the strongest, but he has less flexibility. He has a lot. He's Starkiller, Dr. Aphra. He's got a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but maybe if we had Sith Eternal Emperor, but we don't. So I think sacrifice, eliminate Bastila is the best option. We got a little stacking protection up going on with this Datacron, which will hopefully make things easier. It's my whole thinking with this Datacron. I think it's the first time I'm getting to use it. Alright, there we're through the bonus protection. There we go. I'd love to know if Grand Inquisitor would have worked. It's not the match for it. A little more stacking bonus protection. And we've got strategic advantage so they can't counter. At least for the moment. I don't know. We'll be able to take out GK. I guess I doubt it. I really doubt we can also take out Luke. Since Watt's not here, it might be within the realm of possibility. I really doubt it, though. I just don't think I have the damage output for it. Luke's just going to get super powered at some point. But we do have this bonus protection stacking, which it changes the math a little. All right. We're going to auto, but I just want to manipulate some of the choices here, because as soon as I auto, they're going to start throwing strategic advantage on Jolie and stuff, and it's going to get all annoying. So I want to make a couple choices for them first. But time-wise, we got to do it. All right. Let's see how they play it. We should at least get through the bonus protection. Gonna watch Last of Us after this. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's a beefy boy. But this match is still alive. We've played it clean and smart. And I want this one. Because this is like a... There's like a certain amount of pride in winning these kind of matches. Okay. Through the bonus protection. We're going to time out before any of this happens. Oh, I gotta fix this camera. I'm happy I did not attempt with Grand Inquisitor. I would have had to do it with Eighth Brother, I think, and I don't think it would have gone well. Alright. Grand Inquisitor can clean that up now. Maybe I should save GML. How am I going to beat these things? I think Raddus, we got to do Traya at this point. Yeah, we're going to do the known quantities. We'll do Traya up against this. I don't want to mess around with it. I've lost a match on Raddus before. I didn't Save a counter. And I was expecting something to work that didn't. Oh, I think it was the Jedi Knight Revan counter. My Jedi Knight Revan and Yoda is just too weak. They need to be higher relic levels. I also think I needed Bastila, and I don't have a relic Bastila. I think that's why I lost it. Yeah, but all my other counters are used up or spoken for. Fine, let's do it. Yeah, let's throw that on him. Maybe that's a mistake because the taunt might get annoying. And that might prevent me from attacking Raddus when I have Annihilate available. Okay. Okay. Still 2 more turns. That might have triggered it. Triggered the Held by Hatred. Let's Dispel. Hopefully triggered the Annihilate. Perfect. And now we've won. Next time we get Isolate, we'll throw the Isolate on K2. And then we'll auto until Jin is gone. Alright. And Parker has joined the record. Alright. Nice. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to do with Maul. There's not that much damage. I wonder if I can do something with bounty hunters and just, like, disintegrate Savage. I think I need to think about that one a little bit. I even feel like something with, like, Vader and Thrawn with Fracture and some sort of taunt might be able to mess that up. But let's do Grand Inquisitor now. Okay. Equip. I'm just thinking now, I was going to use Wampa up against Jedi Luke, but then what am I going to do up against Iden? That lightsaber's been hanging out for a few matches. I wonder when that appeared. You gotta get away. Blocking the screen. Okay, there's our torture. That torture feat on Conquest was real annoying. I started doing it with both Grand Inquisitor and B2 to speed things along. There's a really high count on a feat for abilities that have such big cooldowns. Alright, there goes JMO. I mean, maybe Bad Batch will work for me on with Iden. It's just with the relics. I don't know if mine will work. We're not gonna do, yeah, we're gonna do something else up against Luke. Because in terms of teams I have left, it's really Wampa is the only reliable counter here. Because my Bad Batch, even if we win by speed, they're Gear 11. And I'm fairly certain because Iden's going to be starting with full turn meter. She's going to take him out. Like if mine were at relics, it's viable. Like we beat it. We beat Iden last time, but that was a Gear 12 Iden. I think we got to Wampa this. What do I want? Savage can beat Iden too, but not this. Not this. My Savage can't beat this one. Let's do that. We'll do little turn meter and defense and protect. Wait, isn't there one with health? Health. Okay, so we got health and crit chance with the basic ability, but I kind of like that one for what's his face. Wasn't there another one? We got health and offense, health and crit. Here, we'll do this one with the turn meter. Because the health will give extra stats to Wampa. Okay. You know what? Let's go for a Stormtrooper because Shore Trooper is just going to keep healing and we're not going to do anything. Okay. We're going to auto for a bit. I think my opponent's in China, so he'll probably times it. I mean, obviously it's a gigantic country, so we have no idea what time zone, but we'd assume a West Coast or East Coast time zone. Yeah, East Coast time zone for China. So, like, would they even have access to this game? Maybe it's like time in Hong Kong is a better idea. Maybe it's Taiwan, actually. Maybe it's Taiwan, not China. Probably Taiwan. I don't even know if they get to play these games in China. Alright, so we're looking at 3 p.m. in China, or Taiwan. Great. So at that point, my opponent's probably a few hours away from doing his match. We can Tuskens Mon Mothma. We can also Vader it. Nute's a Savage Omi. Zam too. Dash we can Hondo. It's this top territory that's tricky. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to see how Fifth Brother does. I don't think it's going to be great. Maybe there's... I got to check these leaderships because somebody, and we may have already used them, has a Jedi Knight Luke leadership. Not that one. That's for Yoda. This one is marked. That's for Jedi Knight Luke. Or not, I mean for Jedi Knight Revan. So it must be like, it's one of the other ones that, it's probably like Ninth Sister or somebody that's the Jedi Knight Luke lead. So we're just going to go with Fifth Brother because Fifth Brother is the best all-around leader. And we do have this Datacron to put on, which I'm going to check my reroll abilities and try and reroll that level 3 ability because it's worthless without Ninth Sister. Let's see how it goes. If I can at least make a little progress, that'll be a huge help. Luke, you can't stun Luke, right? I don't think that's a thing. Let's just do this ability. Don't like any of this going on right now. Alright, we get a little protection up. Let's take out other people first. I don't think we're playing this the right way. You seriously, man? Okay. Why isn't that getting rid of Yoda's stealth? Alright, let's armor shred and buff immunity. Can we stun at 4? It's 5 stack. We have a 50% chance to stun. They got no turn meter. Let's go with a hit. Come on. We're losing this. Is this evadable? Okay, let's stun. We're barely doing damage. This is dispiriting. Because of how Luke's abilities work, I'm just going to let them take me out. With the cooldowns messed up, that might make things easier. What's the Datacron here? I don't understand why his recovery's been so good. Terrible. All right. Maybe I should have been going after Luke, but I really don't feel like that was the way to play it. Take him out. Oh my god. Why are these abilities not doing any damage? That should have been a huge hit. But it's why I wasn't feeling confident about that. Alright, fine. Well, you know, I do have my own Jedi Knight Luke. Let's remind myself what this leadership does. Is that why they had so much recovery? Okay, so it's dispelling all debuffs on allies. Call allies to assist. Yeah, but he wasn't using that thing all the time. I don't know. I think the Inquisitor designed for Jedi Knight Luke would have been better, but whatever. I was hoping that was going to work. We gotta do the same thing. I feel like they're my best option. I think we got to get rid of Hermiota. Okay. That makes me feel better. Yeah, have some foresight, guys. This was either mods or because their cooldowns were messed up. I don't know. Probably because the cooldowns were messed up. Because that is a Relic 8 Jedi Knight Luke. I kind of wish we had Fifth Brother to try and clean this up. I don't think we can lose, but I don't know. I don't know where we're at. He recovered so fast. I guess we're doing some. What's my Datacron doing? Something with debuffs. Are we doing like percent health damage with debuffs? Is that the one I got? Okay. All Now I gotta figure out how I'm taking out Savage. Because we're just using JML and nonsense here. This should work. JML and almost anybody should work. I'm going to leave Shaak T because there's still some clones. We'll bring Bastila and I guess Ayla. Or would I rather have Barriss? We're going to... Ezra. No. Maybe. No. Alright. Okay, it's going to be annoying to deal with. Let's throw an ability block. Buffs. Maybe we can just get rid of Scion, because at least fine. Fine. It's irritating. I don't know how to play this. This is why I wanted a GL, but I don't feel like any of this is going great. We just need to get to the ultimate, and then I'm going to figure it out. And I need to get to the ultimate before I lose anybody, because otherwise I can't get to the ultimate. So let's not mess around and just get ourselves there, and then we'll figure this out. It looks like as long as we're using inherited teachings, then we're doing good. Okay, now we got our ultimate. Let's try and blow some people up, which isn't doing anything. Let's just... Maybe we should be trying to take out Traya. I was thinking take out Nihilus, but we're not doing anything. Like, he can't annihilate us, but... Can we even win this? It's feeling like I can't win this. Which is bad, because this was my only plan. This might stop me. I just gotta auto and see what happens. Let's auto with basic. Maybe I just gotta ramp up some stuff. It kind of feels like it's doing something. It's doing... I feel like we're making more progress than we were with other abilities. Oh my god, if we can take out Traya, go down. Go down. Come on. Yes! Okay, let's try Scion, because we're apparently making no progress on Nihilus. No, Scion. Scion's your target. Okay, let's do auto with the big ability. Whatever, I don't care. I do not care anymore. Oh, you know what? I forgot about the synergy. I was probably ramping up the Scion Nihilus synergy. But knowing that I should go after Traya with the basic, that's a good thing to figure out. Okay, it's a timeout, whatever. Omicron's gone. I don't care anymore. It's fine. That's a win. But look at this wall that we had to deal with. Oh my god. Man. You know what? I know how we're dealing with this. This is JTR. This is JTR territory. Let's get some defense protection. Swolo should take care of this, no problem. Because we can throw healing immunity down on Savage. I don't know if we should take out Savage first, though. Maybe we will. It doesn't really matter. Well, Savage can go through stealth, which is another reason why this is going to be... He's going to be awesome for this. But the undispellable healing immunity is what this is all about. Oh, don't be dodging, because the healing immunity is going to come off now. Awesome. Great. Perfect. Love you, JTR Swolo. This is what I've been talking about with this guy. I love this guy. You don't need Rey. Like, obviously, he becomes just god tier with Rey, but he's still awesome without. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Still got to deal with Nihilus, but great. Great, 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 great. I wish I didn't supercharge Nihilus, but okay. You know what? I wonder if I should have done the Fennec. No, I just need to get relics on Grief and Mando and Zam. So I can just use Fennec up against Lord Vader. I didn't do it because I knew I'd have to clean it up anyway, odds are. Especially with Maul. I have no idea. I am not sure how I want to deal with this. We're going to come back to this. We can pick it apart if we have to. This is going to be a long one. Okay. So... See, the thing is, I've done Savage up against Seps, and I know a Relic 7 Droideka will beat Savage. question is, does a Relic 5 beat Savage? And do I want to find out? How much recovery is on Zam? See, maybe Savage up against... Savage, I think, can take out Zam. I'm not 100% on the thermals, but that's an option. We're going to do Tuskens right now. We might need a little luck, but Tuskens we know has won before doing this, so we are doing it again. Nope, not Aurora Raider. See, we survived last time doing this, but I think there's an RNG component, because I think the right AoEs coming from Katarn could make this loose. So we're going for the momentum. We're only doing the second special with Warrior if there are stacks of 15 or higher. And you know what, let's just take out Scout, because Scout should be at least easy to take out. That'll minimize the amount of assists going on. Now we got a big hit. Yes! All right. Awesome. Go Tuskens. I love you guys. 3 for 3 this week with the Tuskens. Great results. We're going to do a little Hondo action over here. I think we've done it before. I just get a little worried each time I do this. We're going to do it. All right, we're going to throw it on, and we're just going to real slow play it. Slow basic. Okay, it came off. We're in business now. I got buff immunity. You can see how much damage we're doing. We just still got to get past this taunt, though, to take out Vandor. And that might be the trick here. Okay. Here's our chance. Okay, that's the buff immunity. Come on. Like, they can't take us out. But can I time this in such a way to take out Vandor? Look, here's our window. I got to do it now. Yes, perfect. 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 I love you, Hondo. Just awesome. Great work. Although I don't like how you have to look like a pirate. Like a Caribbean pirate. Okay. What do we got? What do we got here? Vader. Oh, you know what? We're not going to mess around. We'll just do Shaak T. We'll do Savage up against Zam. We'll do Shaak T here. Throw on some stats. Let's do Crit Trance and Protection. Because with the droid action here, these guys should easily negate them. Let's stun. We don't get all our stuns, so now we got an annoying little taunt to deal with. Alright. Try and get rid of Droidica before the damage immunity and attacks come out. Alright. Okay. Come on, here's my... Come on. I need another stun. Maybe I should just eliminate IG-100. I think I'm wasting time trying to get rid of Droidica first. But maybe let's just do this. Come on. Okay. Because Droidica's the win condition for them. If Droidica can get that hit off. And now the win condition's gone and there's nothing to worry about. You serious? You took out Echo? After I make a whole speech about win conditions? Let's just get rid of IG-100 before he takes out another character. All right. Alright, I'm going to take this off auto because I don't like how you're playing this. What is going on? I don't care that he's a Relic 7 Nute. You guys should not. Don't be scaring me like that, guys. Alright. Maybe I should be smarter than what I'm about to do, but I'm going to do a Savage solo. Yeah, we got crit damage defense. My only concern is the thermals. There's also a little health recovery here that I might be more of an issue than I'm treating it like. That's a lot of thermals. Alright. I think maybe I should go... I don't know who I want to take out first. I feel like Cad Bane... No, you see that recovery? I think we got to take out Zam. It's Zam. Boom. All right, we've won. From here, we can auto. Yeah, I knew this was a Savage solo. Love Savage. And this is another thing where I just like prioritize characters I can solo. Like it's one way to really extend the depth of your roster. Because if you can beat a squad with one character, that's a lot fewer relics that you need, and you can spread out the relics that you do have into other places. Alright. Now we gotta deal with this for a while. And this is why I said at the top of the video that I really liked what this guy was doing. I knew I was just gonna have an absolute headache trying to get through this thing. But I'm really happy with how we've played it, win or lose. I think I've played it right. The only thing I would take back is that fifth brother attempt. And I wouldn't have focused so much on Nihilus. Yeah, so let's double check that. Who feeds who? I know they feed each other, but who feeds who or how? So when... Okay, if I'm inflicting a debuff... Alright, so we don't want to inflict debuffs. Alright. See, that was the issue. I was inflicting a bunch of debuffs, and I was just making them better and better. So that means somebody like Vader would be a bad idea. We still have Nest. Well, what's my bounty hunter situation? Didn't inflict a lot of debuffs, though. It's just that disintegrate. You know what? We're going to do it. I don't think the risk is one of them taking me out. I could be wrong. But these guys aren't huge damage dealers. So if I can get to the contract, get to the payouts, then I should win. Fine. Okay. We'll stun there. Maybe we can get a second stun. I know we're inflicting a debuff, but I'd rather they be stunned. Alright. It's 80%. Maybe we get turn meter though. I'm going to go for the turn meter, even though we're inflicting another debuff. But if we're disintegrating, it doesn't matter. Okay, we got the payout, but our cooldown was increased. Yeah. Stun. We don't get the stun. He gets the held by hatred. Ooh! Alright. Nihilus gone. Now, if we lose... Oh, I should have stunned or tried to stun. If we lose Mando, we can't win. Because I don't think these characters have the damage necessary to do it. So I gotta get to disintegrate again. Maybe I need to up the potency on my Aura Sing, because she's not landing the stuns enough. Next turn, if I make it. What does this do again? Yeah, who cares? There we go. I'm very, very pleased. Like, that's nearly as efficient as I could have played this match. Okay. Let's go in for this. And as long as I get good RNG. Perfect, perfect, okay. I feel like 1 in 10 will go bad. Really great defense by this guy. Really, really impressed. Very smart. So bring out Cassian, call the assists. Yeah, let's dispel. Okay. Now we cleanse, go into stealth. We don't have to worry about the marked. Let's see if we can take out Boba Fett. Take out Boba Fett. Perfect. Ultimate off. Alright, we'll just auto from here. Man, this has been real long. This has been a long one. Real long one. Just this defense needed a lot of planning, a lot of careful steps. Needed to really think it through carefully. Because a lot of those stronger teams, had I played it a little differently, used some different counters, we could have got stuck. Like if I would have used Wampa early, if I did like Wampa against Sana, then I don't think we get through Iden. Alright, we're doing Malevolence here. No, we might need 2 shots on the final. No, wait, he doesn't have SLKR. His Finalizer's not good. At least I don't think it is. That lightsaber's just gonna hang out. Let's see here. AoE. Buzz droids. Stun. He's got a reinforcement in the first, so we know there's a interceptor, and we know he's got Grand Inquisitor, so that interceptor is definitely coming into play. I'm gonna let him take the turn because I don't want to eliminate the buzz droids. I want the stacks, and now we are going to bring out a reinforcement because this is what we do up against chimeras. And there we go. Now for this last one, it's going to be Scythe. See, See, I would really like to do what this guy did with, like, Nihilus and Traya. It's just, I kind of really needed those guys for offense. Like, what would I have done up against Raddus if my Nihilus was on defense? No, I guess I would, at that point, maybe my own Raddus would have been for offense. I don't know. I need to think through the chess moves of all these things. If I put things on defense, how am I countering other? What are my counter moves? Alright, a little wobble action. Focus on officer. Just want to get rid of that tank early. Alright, we do our formation stacks. I'm enjoying the Scythe. It's very vulnerable. Right, can we land a buff immunity? Perfect. Come on. There's another use case of why I say never put Sith ships on your reinforcements. You're better off going in with empty slots. Does this cleanse too? Alright, then let's just do... Okay. The only thing that's happened since I've started using the gauntlet is I don't bring the defender out as much as a reinforcement because all the slots are full. And the defender's such a great ship, I kind of miss being able to bring it out. And one more, okay. And there we go. Let's check out these final banners. 1974 is pretty good, considering. We'll have to check back in the morning, see where he's at. I'm going to go watch The Last of Us. With SK's offense, we see my defense has held it down on the top territory. Grievous gets a hold. The rest goes down in one, but they're fairly weak. With the fleet territory, Negotiator getting a hold, the rest goes down in one. But what you see up front is that he could not clear this territory. We get a hold from Dash with this Datacron here, where they get some extra retribution, which is what they lose when you don't have CLS lead. And then Malgus taking 4 and not going down, and Qui-Gon taking 2, and Jabba taking 2. So there's a number of differences with our rosters and our defensive and offensive strategies that I think made a big difference here, and are why this one. And earlier in the video when I was debating whether or not it's worth it for me to take characters like Traya and put them on defense, like there are a number of defensive teams that he set down that I really liked, but they compromise your offense in certain ways. And there's that push and pull, and I think that's what is stopping him here from getting through this territory, is he was lacking enough specific counters and was relying on them to work out a certain way. So Malgus, I'm assuming he took in gas, but after you take gas, if you don't get a good run with him, and Malgus stands, and we don't know how it looked after the first battle or second battle, but if you don't take out Bastila or Darth Revan in that first attempt, you're then placed in a really compromised position trying to find other teams. And in those scenarios, I'd like to take Traya and her Omicron up against Malgus to try and take out characters. But if you haven't got a little bit of work done in that first attempt, you might fail to clear it, and then you start running out of teams that become viable Malgus counters. Plus, he only had one GL. He only had Sith Eternal Emperor for offense. He placed 2 out of his 3 on defense. So he was limited with the amount of high power counters. And it's why I like Malgus. Because, yeah, Malgus, we have solutions for him. But if you don't bring them in or have enough of them, he still can hold it down. It's just usually players are taking some pretty high-powered things against it. Now with Jabba here, I think we're seeing 2 things. One, he didn't have the leadership Omicron on Aphra, and he didn't have the Datacron for Aphra. So this, what you saw from the first 2 matches of this Grand Arena, is that has been basically a gimme with my Dr. Aphra. I could basically do anything I want and not lose that match. It's a very secure match. But what I'm guessing is that is not secure at all when you are lacking the proper supplemental assets in that Datacron and Omicron. And some of his modding may have come into play there. In terms of Jabbas, there wasn't a lot of Jabbas in the bracket, and he probably went through a route that didn't confront any. And he probably had to use a combination of Aphra and Sith Eternal Emperor to get through my job. I think this is the first time my job even gets a hold. And once he took those multiple attempts up against these squads, he then has nothing left over to really throw at the Dash Rendar Han lead. I'm a little surprised that my Qui-Gon got a hold, because he does have Grand Inquisitor. I'm guessing he probably tried to go a little lighter on it and take it out with something like Fifth Brother or using another counter entirely, because Grand Inquisitor would have taken that on. Except maybe this is another scenario where he didn't have the Grand Inquisitor Datacron and I do. So those are those the differences within our roster where I think I had an edge in these places. Because I'm pretty happy that we walk away with a win in this one, but I'm a little surprised that we were able to keep 2 territories. Because this guy has a very smart roster, and I think he knows how to play. It's just putting your resources in the places where you are going to get the biggest results. So it's one of those things where you see, like, I have a Relic 6 JMK. A lot of players are throwing higher relics on any GL, but for me, Relic 6 kind of does everything that you need him to do, and by going a little light on a GL in JMK, I'm able to take those resources, reallocate them to other squads, like a Dr. Aphra, which gives me a GL counter. And those are what I'm constantly trying to evaluate, is what is going to have a bigger effect. Because, yeah, I could make all my top teams better, but if I can make some of my weaker teams take out good teams, that's going to have a huge downstream effect. So I am ecstatic to start this season out with a 3-0 week, to start out in Kyber 2 3-0 after a long period of months of just bouncing back and forth between Kyber 2 and Kyber 3 and never being able to hold on. What we're finally seeing is the payoff of all those projects I've been working on basically since August, of going after Profundity, Grand Inquisitor, Jabba, and now Dr. Aphra in quick succession. And we're seeing the benefits of taking Datacrons very seriously. So we'll see if we're able to keep this up next week, and we will get back to the other content. But thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone, and be excellent to each other. This is still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.